from ideas to opportunities. Have you ever had an idea that made you stop and think, this could actually be something? Maybe it was a better way to study, a service that could help your community, or just a simple solution you wish existed on campus or in your neighborhood. But then what? For many people, that idea stays stuck in the maybe someday category. Why? Because they're not sure what to do next. They don't know if the idea is realistic, if it would even work, or if it's worth the time and energy to try. That's exactly what this week is about, taking your idea seriously. It's about learning how to move from idea to opportunity and from opportunity to action. This matters because in entrepreneurship, not every idea is a great opportunity, and that's okay. The world is full of ideas. What if there was an app for this? What if someone delivered that? What if students had an easier way to do this one thing? Ideas are easy to come by. The real skill is knowing how to evaluate which ones are worth pursuing. It's about shaping an idea into a real opportunity and testing it without risking everything. That's where creativity, opportunity analysis, and feasibility testing come into play. Now, you might think creativity is about inventing something brand new, but in entrepreneurship, creativity often means something simpler and smarter. It's about noticing problems that others ignore. It's about connecting existing ideas in new ways. It's about asking, what if we tried this differently? Let's look at a few examples. A student sees their classmates struggling with time management and designs a planner specifically tailored to the campus schedule. Someone else notices their neighbors struggling with yard work and offers a reliable, low-cost service. A group of friends realizes there's no healthy late-night snack option nearby, so they start a small delivery test for campus students. These aren't billion-dollar ideas, but they are creative, thoughtful, and useful. They solve real problems for real people, and that's where entrepreneurship begins. What makes an opportunity different? So what turns an idea into an actual opportunity? An opportunity creates value. It solves a problem that people care about. And it's something you can act on with the resources you already have or can reasonably get. When you learn to recognize opportunities, you stop spinning your wheels. Instead of daydreaming about someday, you start focusing on ideas that can actually go somewhere. Feasibility testing helps you move from guessing to learning. Rather than sitting around wondering, will this work? You take action and ask, how can I test this in a small way? It's about talking to potential users, building a basic version of your idea, testing it in a low-risk way, getting real feedback and then making it better. This process protects your time and energy, and it builds confidence one step at a time. In this video, you're going to learn practical, hands-on skills that will help you bring your ideas to life. You'll discover that creativity isn't something you're born with, it's a skill you can practice. You'll learn how to spot when an idea has potential. You'll try out a basic feasibility analysis to see if your idea is realistic and worth pursuing. And most importantly, you'll take your first steps toward testing it in the real world. Whether you're looking to start a side hustle, build a project for your resume, or just learn the tools of entrepreneurship, this week will help you move forward with confidence. Before we dive in, take a moment to reflect. What's an idea you've had recently that you just can't shake? What small frustration have you noticed in your daily life? Is there a way to turn that into a simple solution for others? Write that idea down. Keep it close as we move through this week because you'll have a chance to apply everything you learn directly to your idea. By the end of the week, you'll know if it's worth testing, and if it is, you'll have a clear, practical path to take your first small step toward making it real. The role of creativity in entrepreneurship. Now that we've talked about moving from ideas to real opportunities, let's focus on the fuel that drives that process, creativity. What is creativity in entrepreneurship? When people hear the word creativity, they often think of artists, musicians, or people who are naturally gifted at design. But in entrepreneurship, creativity is something broader and much more practical. Creativity means noticing problems that others overlook. It means connecting existing ideas in fresh ways. And it means asking better questions and exploring possible solutions. It's not about having wild or unrealistic ideas. It's about being curious and open-minded enough to spot opportunities hiding in plain sight. Why creativity matters for entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs rely on creativity to solve problems in unique and effective ways. When the situation changes, creativity helps them adapt. It also helps them spot market gaps, places where others only see limitations. Think about the businesses around you. A coffee shop that lets you order ahead to skip the line. A tutoring service that builds personalized study plans. A student who designs a low-cost meal prep guide for classmates. Each of these examples started with someone seeing a problem, imagining a better way, and testing a solution. That's creativity in action. Creativity is a skill, not just a talent. It's easy to think, I'm just not a creative person. But here's the truth, creativity is a skill. And like any skill, it can be developed through practice. Start by being curious. Pay attention to everyday frustrations, both your own and those around you. Then ask questions like, why is it done this way? Or could it be easier or better? Explore ideas without immediately judging them. Write them down, let them sit, come back later. And most importantly, test small experiments. You don't need a perfect solution. Creativity grows when you take small steps and learn as you go. A practical framework, creative problem solving. Here's a simple process you can follow. Identify a problem. What small frustration have you or others faced recently? Ask what if. What if there were a faster, simpler, or more affordable way to solve this? List possible approaches. Don't limit yourself. Write down anything that comes to mind. Pick one small idea to test. Choose the most doable, most valuable idea. Then find a small way to try it out. Get feedback. Ask friends, classmates, or potential users what they think. What works? What could be better? An example of creativity in action? Here's how this might look in real life. A student notices their classmates often miss lectures and ask for notes. So they think, what if I made clean, organized notes for each chapter and offered them for a small fee, or maybe a coffee? They use a free tool like Canva to design the notes and test the idea with a few peers. That small creative act does three things. It solves a real problem, tests demand, and builds the student's skill in organizing and communicating ideas. It's not a huge invention, but it's a smart, creative solution to an everyday problem. Creativity and opportunity recognition. Here's what to remember. Creativity is the starting point for recognizing opportunities. It helps you generate ideas worth testing. It keeps you flexible as you learn what customers actually value. And over time, practicing creativity builds your entrepreneurial mindset, making you more confident and resourceful as you navigate uncertainty. Reflection prompt. Take a few minutes to reflect. Write down one small problem you or people around you experience regularly. Then come up with 3 what-if ideas for solving that problem creatively. Finally, choose one of those ideas and think about a simple way you could test it this month. This isn't about launching a full business overnight. It's about building your creative confidence, training yourself to see opportunities everywhere. Because creativity isn't about waiting for inspiration. It's about building the habit of curiosity and having the courage to test small solutions to real problems. What makes an opportunity? So far, we've talked about the power of creativity, how it helps you see problems in fresh ways and imagine possible solutions. But here's the thing, not every idea is an opportunity. One of the most important skills for any aspiring entrepreneur is learning to tell the difference. Idea versus opportunity. An idea is a spark, a thought, a possibility, a what-if moment. Ideas can come anytime, anywhere. You might have dozens every week. An opportunity, on the other hand, is an idea that solves a real problem people actually care about, creates value for others, not just for you, can realistically be acted upon with the resources you have or can get, or fits with trends, timing, and the conditions in your environment. This matters because when you learn to filter ideas through these questions, you save yourself time, money, and frustration. It's easy to get attached to an idea because it sounds fun or unique. But if nobody else wants it or needs it, or if it's not feasible to deliver, it's unlikely to grow into something sustainable. That's why entrepreneurs constantly test whether an idea is just interesting or actually valuable. Here are 4 key signals that your idea might be a real opportunity. 1. There's a clear problem or need. The best opportunities start with a real problem, something people complain about, struggle with, or wish they had help solving. If people are already spending money, time, or energy trying to solve it, that's a good sign. Here is an example. Busy neighbors struggling to keep their yards clean. They might not want to deal with pet waste, but they want a clean yard. That's a clear problem with emotional and practical value. 2. People are willing to pay or give something up. It's not enough for people to like your idea. They need to value it enough to exchange money, time, or other resources for it. People might say, that's cool. But the real test is whether they'd actually pay for it or commit to using it. Here is an example. A planner that's nice to look at is fine, but students buy it because it helps them stay organized and feel less stressed. That outcome has value. 3. You have or can get the resources to test it. A real opportunity needs to be actionable. Do you have the time, skills, or tools to test your idea? You don't need everything up front, but you do need a realistic path to try it in a small way. Here is an example. If your idea requires $50,000 and a full-time team, but you have no funding or connections yet, it's not feasible right now. But a simpler version you can test on weekends might be 4. It aligns with trends or timing. Opportunities often ride the wave of something bigger happening in the world. Are you tapping into a shift in how people work, study, or shop? A growing social value like sustainability or wellness? Or a local trend or gap nobody else is filling? For example, more people adopting pets during the pandemic increased demand for pet care services. A small pet waste cleanup service tapped into that trend at the right time. When you filter your ideas through these 4 signals, you start to see which ones have real potential and which ones might be better saved for later or reshaped into something more practical. It's not about throwing ideas away, it's about staying focused on the ones you can test and grow with the time, energy, and resources you have now. Quick check-in, opportunity, or idea. Here's a simple test to run your idea through. Problem. What clear problem does this solve for others? Value. Why would people pay or trade something for it? Feasibility. Can I test this realistically with what I have? Timing. Does this fit with current trends or conditions? If you can answer all 4 with confidence, you might have an opportunity worth exploring further. Remember, ideas are the starting point. Opportunities are ideas tested by reality, shaped by real needs, real people, and the conditions around you. Feasibility analysis basics. Now that you've learned how to filter your ideas and uncover real opportunities, it's time to take the next step and ask, is this opportunity actually feasible? Feasibility analysis is all about figuring out whether your idea is practical, realistic, and truly worth your time and energy. It's not just about dreaming, it's about testing. So what is feasibility analysis? At its core, feasibility analysis helps you answer some key questions. Can I realistically deliver this idea in a way that creates value? Is there a market for it? And will it make sense financially, even at a small scale? Instead of relying on guesswork, feasibility analysis encourages you to gather simple, useful data. Think of it like a health checkup for your idea, something you do before committing lots of time or money. Here's why this step is so important. Many people skip it. They get excited about their idea, rush into building a product, buying supplies, or launching a service without testing whether people actually want it. And that can lead to disappointment. You might spend money on something nobody buys. You could hit roadblocks that smarter planning would have avoided. And you may end up discouraged when reality doesn't match your expectations. Feasibility analysis protects you. It helps you learn more about your idea while keeping risk low and energy focused. There are 3 parts of feasibility analysis. 1. Product or service feasibility. Start by asking yourself, can I create or deliver this with the skills and resources I already have or can get easily? Can I build a simple test version or minimum viable product? For example, if you're thinking of offering tutoring services, try working with just 1 student to start. Or if you want to sell digital art prints, design 1 product and post it on Etsy to gauge interest. 2. Market feasibility next. Look at your audience. Ask, who exactly is my customer? Do they actually want this solution and would they pay for it? Are there enough people who would buy it? And what are my competitors doing? To test this, start small. Talk to potential customers. Ask them if they'd pay for your solution. You can also run a short survey using something simple like Google Forms. And spend time observing your competitors. Read reviews, check out what they offer, and see what customers say. 3. Financial feasibility. You don't need a full business plan at this stage, but you do need a rough estimate. Think about what will it cost to test the idea? What might you charge? And how many sales or clients would you need to break even or make it worth your time? For instance, if you're selling a digital planner that costs you nothing but time and you price it at $5, how many would you need to sell to feel like it's worth it? Or if you're offering a $20 yard service, how many clients a week would cover your basic costs? How would you conduct a simple feasibility analysis? Here's a quick way to get started. Write down your idea clearly. Keep it to one sentence that explains what you're offering and to whom. List what you need to test it. Include materials, tools, skills, and time. Identify your potential customers. Who do you think would actually use or buy what you're offering? Test with conversations. Talk to 3 to 5 people in your target market. Are they interested? What would they pay? Estimate basic costs and possible income. Use a simple spreadsheet or even a notebook. The goal is to get a rough idea of whether it's worth testing further. Here is an example in practice. Let's look at how this plays out in real life. Jordan had an idea for a pet waste cleanup service. He ran it through a basic feasibility check. Product or service? He could deliver it himself using tools he already had. What market? His neighborhood had plenty of pet owners, and after talking to a few, he confirmed they were interested. How are the financials looking? His startup costs were minimal, and he set a price that was affordable for customers while still compensating himself fairly. Thanks to this simple process, Jordan realized his idea was worth testing, and he moved forward with confidence. Now it's your turn. Think about the opportunity you've been considering. Can you test it with the skills, time, and tools you already have? Who are the first 3 to 5 people you could talk to about it? And what would you need to spend to test it compared to what you could realistically charge? Write down your answers. Keep it focused. Keep it practical. Tools for testing ideas. Now that you've learned how to filter your ideas and check if they're feasible, it's time to take the next step, testing your idea in the real world. This is where you shift from planning to learning by doing. Testing isn't about building the perfect product or launching your full business right away. It's about something much more practical, getting real feedback from real people. It's how you learn what customers actually care about, and it helps you make smart adjustments before you invest more time or money. Many people get stuck in planning mode, trying to predict every outcome and perfect every detail before taking action. But the truth is, some answers only come when you put your idea into the world. Testing helps you skip the overthinking and start learning what really matters. Principles for testing ideas. Let's go over a few key principles to keep in mind. First, start small. Your first test should be as simple and low cost as possible, but still give you useful feedback. Second, talk to real people. Your idea isn't validated until you hear directly from potential customers. Third, be open to feedback. Your first version won't be perfect, and that's okay. The goal is to learn and improve, not to get it all right the first time. And finally, act quickly. Testing doesn't have to take months. A few conversations, a quick post, or a small experiment can teach you a lot in just a few days. Here are some tools you can use. So how do you actually test your idea? Here are 5 simple tools to help you get started. 1. Surveys. You can use free tools like Google Forms to ask people about their needs, preferences, and how much they'd be willing to pay. Ask questions like, what's your biggest challenge with staying organized during the semester? Would you use a service that helps with X? How much would you be willing to pay for Y? Just remember to keep your survey short and focused. 2. Conversations and interviews. Sometimes just talking to 3 to 5 people in your target market can uncover things no survey ever will. Ask them about their challenges, explain your idea, and see how they react. Pay close attention to what excites them, where they hesitate, and what problems they really want solved. 3. Prototypes and samples. Create a simple version of your product or service to test. For example, you might upload a single planner template to Etsy to see if anyone's interested. Or offer your service to one person for free in exchange for honest feedback. Even a simple social media post describing your idea can be a powerful test. The point isn't perfection, it's testability. 4. Pre-selling. If you're offering a product, try putting out a pre-order form or asking people to sign up if they're interested. You might say, I'm launching a weekly meal prep guide for students. If you're interested, drop your email below and I'll send you the first week for free. If people respond, that's a strong signal your idea has potential. 5. social media testing. Share your idea in a group or on your personal profile. Describe the problem you want to solve. Explain your solution. Then ask, would you be interested in trying this? It's a fast way to gather reactions and maybe even find your first customers. Here's an example in action. Let's say you want to offer affordable lawn care for busy neighbors. Here's how you might test that idea. Start by texting or posting in a local group to ask if anyone needs the service. Then, have a few conversations with neighbors to learn about their challenges and what they'd find valuable. Next, offer the service to one neighbor at a low rate so you can learn about pricing, timing, and what matters most to them. Finally, make a simple post in your local group to gauge broader interest. Each of these steps teaches you something. What do people care about? What prices feel fair? What parts of your process need to be refined? Now it's your turn. Grab your notebook and write this down. What's one idea you want to test? What's the simplest, lowest risk way to test it this month? Who will you talk to for feedback? Now commit to a plan. I will talk to 3 potential customers, create a simple survey, and test a small version of my idea by next week. Real-world examples. Now that you've seen how to test your ideas, let's explore how real students have done it. These stories show how small ideas, backed by a bit of curiosity and testing, can turn into real opportunities worth pursuing. Each example moves from creativity through feasibility testing into real-world action. Let's dive in. Example 1, digital planner on Etsy. One student noticed her classmates were constantly stressed about managing deadlines and exams. To stay on top of her own schedule, she made weekly planners using Canva. That sparked an idea. Could other students benefit from my planner design? To test feasibility, she looked at what she already had. She knew how to design with Canva. That covered the product. She talked to classmates who said they'd pay a few dollars for a clean, easy-to-use planner. That covered the market. And with Etsy, the startup cost was minimal, just the listing fee. She uploaded a single digital planner and shared it in a student group, along with a simple message. If you're feeling overwhelmed this semester, this planner might help. Within a week, she made her first few sales. Customers gave feedback. Some wanted a Sunday start version. Others asked for a study tracker page. She adjusted quickly. Through this, she learned how to manage Etsy listings, respond to customers, and do basic digital marketing. The takeaway? She didn't need a full business plan. One small product test gave her valuable feedback, income, and the confidence to grow. Example 2, campus snack delivery service. Another student saw a different problem, students pulling late-night study sessions without access to healthy snacks. Her idea was simple. What if I deliver affordable, healthy snacks to students late at night? She bought snacks in bulk from a warehouse store. She asked friends if they'd pay for snack delivery during finals. They said yes. She estimated her costs, set her prices, and used Venmo for payments. To test it, she posted on Instagram and in a campus group, "Healthy snacks delivered to your study spot tonight. DM me your order." Then she delivered orders by bike for a few nights during finals week. Orders came in steadily for 3 nights. She discovered which snacks were most popular and what times worked best. Most importantly, she realized that quick delivery and clear communication were key. The takeaway? A simple trial run showed there was real demand. It gave her the confidence to offer the service again during midterms and other high-stress weeks. Example 3, pet waste cleanup service. Jordan saw a different opportunity, busy neighbors struggling to keep up with pet waste cleanup. His idea, offer an affordable, discreet pet waste cleanup service in the neighborhood. The product was simple. He already had the tools he needed. He talked to a few neighbors and they showed interest. He ran the numbers and found a price they were happy to pay. To test it, he offered the service to 3 neighbors for a trial month. His system was low-tech but effective. Text reminders, before and after photos, and payments through Venmo. It worked. Customers appreciated how reliable he was, and they liked the communication. He figured out how to schedule his routes efficiently. Word spread, and he grew from 3 to 7 paying customers. The takeaway? By starting small, Jordan proved his concept, built trust, and started earning income right away. These examples show you that these students started small. They didn't wait for perfect timing or a big budget. They asked real people for input. They used tools they already knew, like Canva, Etsy, Instagram, and Venmo, to get started. They learned and adjusted based on feedback, and each test helped them build the confidence to keep going. Now think about your own idea. What's a small version you could test this month? Who would you talk to for feedback? What platform or tool could help you run that first test easily? Write down your answers. A plan in your head is just a thought. A written plan is a step toward action. Remember, testing your idea doesn't require perfection. It doesn't require a business plan or funding. What it really takes is the courage to start small, listen closely, and learn as you go. You've learned that turning ideas into real opportunities doesn't require flashy breakthroughs. It starts with noticing everyday problems and asking simple what if questions. Real opportunities solve meaningful problems, create value, and align with what you can actually do. Tools like feasibility analysis and small-scale testing help reduce risk and build confidence, showing whether people want your solution, if you can deliver it, and whether it makes financial sense. Through student examples, you've seen how simple actions, from quick conversations to one-product listings, can validate ideas, teach valuable lessons, and lead to real-world progress. Now it's your turn. Instead of overthinking or waiting for the perfect plan, start with one small idea. Identify the problem it solves, who benefits, and how you can test it quickly and affordably. Whether it's a social media post, a prototype, or a direct offer to someone you know, take action within a week to keep your momentum. Sharing your plan with classmates, mentors, or even writing it down makes it more real and helps you stay accountable. This process builds the mindset of an entrepreneur, someone who sees problems, takes small steps, learns, and adapts, skills that will serve you well no matter where your journey leads.